any effort that will help black people to think about what they are doing and why they are doing it. And that's black people, not just the youngsters and all like that, but that's black people in general throughout the entire world. We don't have an agenda. We don't have a reason for existing that makes sense. We don't have a culture that makes sense. Because if you just look at the essence of black culture, you can't even enumerate what it is, except a reaction to the culture of white supremacy. If the white supremacists are not holding us by the ear and say, okay, come here, fella, come here, okay, come with me, do this, do that, okay, when you finish doing this, I got another project for you. Now, we make sense when they are orchestrating what we are doing. You know, come over here and operate this machine. Okay, enough of that. Come down here and drive this vehicle. Okay, all right, enough of that. Come over here and build this bridge. Okay, enough of that. All right, now I'm going to allow you a little free time. See, once we get that free time, because, you know, the slave mentality is, hey, I'm not supposed to have free time. Somebody's supposed to be telling me what to do. So when I don't know, somebody's not telling me what to do every minute of my entire existence, I got no idea about what to do. I don't even know what I'm existing for. So then we fall into what we call the black culture stereotype, which is violence against other black people. And when I say violence, I mean verbal violence. Listen to black people walking down the street on their cell phone. If you don't believe it, if you think I'm making it up, listen to black people walking down the street on their cell phone. MF this and MF that. And I told that MF, and you know, and I told, and then that's both males and females. The female saying, Keisha came over to my house and she come up with all that S and started talking about this and whatnot, and you know, and she came over there telling me about Vanessa, and Vanessa is my sister, and I don't allow nobody to say nothing about my sister. This is, you know, from the back of the bus, cell phone talk, all hostile, nothing pleasant. Not one word of civility out of all of it, wherever you find black people. Nothing being said that makes any sense at all. Nothing that is constructive in any way. And so we have to have a constructive culture. So the first step toward remedying that, black people shouldn't come in contact with each other at all under any circumstance unless they have a constructive agenda. That's the key.
Bitch nigga, walk with a switch nigga. Why you switch nigga, talk high pitch nigga? Know how we get niggas. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, it's to be expected. This is to be expected. But we should understand, first of all, that we're programmed this way. Black people are toxic. All of us are toxic. We are loaded with poison because the system of white supremacy puts that poison in us even before we are born. And when we're born into the system of white supremacy. We're not born into a system of la-la land. We're born into the system of white supremacy. The system of white supremacy is designed for everyone, including black people themselves, to have a hostile position, a hostile thought toward anything dark, and particularly dark people. That's just the way the world is run. That's the way the white supremacists have set it up before any of us were born. So we have to, first of all, know that. So we all carry that poison. It's in us. We're not aware of it, in one sense, you might say. I mean, then in another sense, we are aware of it, but we're in denial. But we have to admit, first of all, we have this poison. And then we immediately should jump to, what do we do about it? Well, the first thing you do, you don't want poison to spread. That's just a part of physics, the laws of mathematics. If you got poison on hand, you don't want the poison to spread. How do you keep the poison from spreading? You make sure that every contact that every black person makes with every other black person has a plan beforehand to do something constructive. Do or say something constructive. Don't get on the cell phone and call anyone just to make conversation. That's an old part of the what you might call black culture or people culture for that matter. With some people it works. With most people, particularly black people in the northwestern hemisphere, it's poisonous. It is deadly. You don't pick up that cell phone and call anyone ever just to chat. Hey girl, I haven't heard from you in a little while. What's going on? No, absolutely. That is poison. Poisonous. In other words, our minds are poison. The things that we are getting ready to say to people is loaded with poison. The way that we look at people, the way that we see the world, loaded with poison. The poison was planted in us. So every time we make contact with anything, we just spread poison because we're loaded with poison. And if we are contacting other black people, they are loaded with poison and dynamite. And you're going to get an explosion unless you tailor and suppress that poison and tailor it in such a way that it's kind of shunted off to the side or it doesn't manifest itself. I mean, when we make these contacts. So I have it in the book, the textbook for victims of white supremacy. No contact, no conflict. If you minimize the contact, you minimize the conflict. Black people themselves know, if you just stop and think about it for a few minutes. You ever notice how well you get along with somebody you haven't seen in 15 years?